So welcome to the class. In the last class, we just had an overview of the chapter that we were going to do government and uh, government budget and the economy and how important. And in this class, I'm going to talk about how important it is. What an important document. In fact, Article 112 has been. It says that you have to present the government budget before the people in the parliament. So it is something which is so crucial to the running of the economy, about where the money comes from, income, the receipts, and the expenditure. And then we'll talk also about the format of the budget. So just have a look at this while I just tell you what. And you know what? Ours is a mixed economy. And so the government plays an important role because we have a great private sector too. So government in a way influences the economic life, and it undertakes production and and also expenditure. That production, it undertakes production. How? By providing us goods and services, by spending on that, spending money on making the infrastructure, which comprises of, say, educational institutions, health institutions, etc., also roads and bridges. So yes, it does collect revenue, and as I just mentioned, it is by the Article 112, it is mandatory to present before the Parliament a statement of estimated receipts and expenditures of the government in respect of every financial year, which starts from 1st April of the current year to 31st of the next year. So that's it. And this annual financial statement constitutes a main budget document of the government. Now, the government budget is not merely a statement of estimate receipts and expenditures. It is very significant. It's a significant national policy statement. We had the 5-year plans, and now we have the Niti Aayog. In all of that, it is very important. The budget reflects and shapes and is in turn shaped by the country's economic life. Along with the budget, 3 policy statements are mandated by the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act 2003, FRBMA. And the medium term fiscal policy statement sets a 3-year rolling target for specific fiscal indicators and examines whether revenue expenditure can be financed through revenue receipts on a sustainable basis, and how productively capital receipts, including market borrowing, are being utilized. So something of that we will be doing here. We will discuss the format, the functions which are carried on through the government budget. So the objectives that it has, we'll be talking about that. Okay, so if you've seen this, so budget statement has 2 parts. So budget is made with what? It has central government makes it, the state government in India, and also the local government. So it's at 3 levels, but we are going to talk only about the union budget. That's what we have in your syllabus. And there are 2 main parts. One part shows estimated expenditure under different heads, and the other part shows estimated receipts. So you know what, I'm just going to show you how a format of the budget looks like, just to give you a rough idea. The government operates at 3 levels, as we just said: the central government, state government, and the local government. So this is a basic format of a budget. Is generally there at all levels. So here we see that there are 2 parts. The upper part, what do you see? The upper part shows the revenue receipts, and then you have the down below we have the expenditure and the deficits. So let's take receipts. So you see, 1 is revenue receipts. So 2 as shown as tax revenue net of state's share, and in the third they show non-tax revenue. So revenue receipts total will be equal to 2 plus 3. Then you have capital receipts. Now capital receipts are something to do with loans, borrowings and things like that. So capital receipts are 5 recoveries of loans, 6 other receipts, mainly PSU disinvestment, 7 is borrowing and other liabilities. So capital receipts are made up of 5 plus 6 plus 7. It's made up of 5 plus 6 plus 7. Okay. Have you seen that? 5 plus 6 plus 7. Then we come to expenditure. What is known as a revenue expenditure, of which 10 shows of which interest payments are made. And then 11 we have capital expenditure. So in this 12 shows total expenditure, and total expenditure is 9 plus 11. So 9 is revenue expenditure plus capital expenditure, and 13 and 14 are, out of the total expenditure, you have 13 shows non-plan expenditure which crops up from time to time, and 14 is planned expenditure. So earlier it was a 5-year plans, and now of course we have the Niti Aayog, so something like that. So we have the non-plan expenditure and the plan expenditure. So even this, if you add up 13 plus 14, you will get total expenditure. Alright, so now we are going to do what is known as, of course, other parts are also there, that is fiscal deficit. So the deficits are also shown. Just take a hurried look and just see what are they. Then we will do the components. So in the deficits, you have 15 is shown as revenue deficit, that is 9 minus 1. So what is 9? 9 is revenue expenditure minus 1 is revenue receipts. So that becomes revenue deficit. Then if you have to calculate fiscal deficit, it will be equal to 12, that is total expenditure, minus 1, that is revenue receipts, minus 5, that is recoveries of loans, minus 6, that is other receipts, that is mainly PSU disinvestments, etc., which will be equal to 7, that is borrowings and other liabilities. So in short, fiscal deficit shows the borrowing requirement of a nation, of a country. Then we come to 17, which is known as primary deficit. So what is primary deficit? It is equal to 16. 16 is fiscal deficit minus 10. So 10 is what? Out of the revenue expenditure which goes off in interest payments. So having done that, and of course in the next class we'll be doing what are the components. So if you know this, and if you get, the numericals are just based on this. So if these are in a way, you can make formulas based on that. What is a fiscal deficit? What is a primary deficit? So what are total receipts, total expenditure, and all of that.